It is the Flow Friday Night Sports Show. Let's take a look at Western Eyre netball, and those West Coast Hawks keep on finding a way to win. They had a solid win again on the weekend, and the reigning premiership coach joins me on the line, Reanna Freeman. Hello, how are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Going well, thanks. The reigning champs, another good win for you girls?
Yeah, we did. We had a really good win. Obviously, weren't really sure what we were coming up against when we played the Blues at the Blues home ground, because playing them in the first round, they were severely short. So going into it, sort of not knowing what we were going to face, and the girls took that out onto the court in the very first quarter. Put their best foot forward, and it showed, because at the first quarter break, it was Sturgeon Blues on 5 and Hawks on 18. So we got up 13 in that first quarter, and that sort of set the scene for the rest of the game. So credit to the Hawks girls for coming out firing, but I think it's got to be mentioned that we might have won the first quarter by 13, but Blues won the second quarter by 2 and the third quarter by 1. So out of the 4 quarters, they won 2 of them. So they were definitely within the game. Hayley Clayton, she played goalkeeper. She was outstanding. She played both Rochelle Wheaton and Shannon Johnson for the Hawks. She played a great game. I think maybe where Blues were lacking is they didn't have their coach, Holly Woods, who is also their goal attack. So they had Taylor Collins and Casey Grenfell, who are both fabulous shooters, both very tall, but both fabulous goal shooters. So probably missing that goal attack role, but nevertheless, Hawks came out on top by 15 and will take the points.
Yes, indeed. That's a good, solid win. But as you say, pretty even after quarter time by the sounds of that. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, they get a couple back. There's not much in it between you two.
No, and I think another matchup that is probably worth mentioning is Georgia Lambert. She plays goal defence. She's a quality player, and she came up against our young gun, Chloe Evans, who played goal attack. I think Chloe did an outstanding job on her. Casey's a qualified player, so Georgia's a qualified player, knows what she's doing, and Chloe stepped up, so a shout out to her as well.
Excellent. Well, I said there's not much in it between you two. To be honest, there's probably not much in it between you 4, given that Thevenard took on Wirrala. You guys had a ding-dong battle the week before, and then Thevenard knocked off Wirrala by just 5 goals.
Yeah, look, Sevi are out for the win. All with wins to date and playing some brilliant netball, and I think they will only get better. Wirrala didn't have their coach on Saturday, so I'm not sure who stepped up for the day, but they did start with Jazz Billing in goal defence in the first half, and Cindy Best in the goal.
You're simply the best.
Apologies. I was just waiting, ready to go.
Oh, look, I had a pause ready. That's why I said Jazz's name first. I knew it was coming.
It's well trained. Yep.
And look, Cindy goes from defence to goals, I think, every other week, and she does it with absolute class. She's such a quality player. So half a game in shooter and half a game in keeper. But you've got to mention the Sevi team. They're playing some outstanding netball. Marnie is a brilliant centre. She's both defensive, agile, and gets the job done. Nikki Sleep, last year's A-grade, best and fairest, playing at goal defence. Brilliant player, very fast, reads the ball. She's definitely a hard player to stand. So she would have faced both Sophie Keller, who's a brilliant player, and Jasmine Billings. So Nikki Sleep was best for Sevi. Jazz Billing was best for Wirrala, and as I said, she played goal defence and goal attack. But it was a very close game all game. Sevi by 2 in the first quarter, and then the second quarter they stepped it up by 7, and then an even third quarter up by 7 still, and only coming away with, well, I shouldn't say only, but with a 5-goal win. Sevi 38 to Wirrala's 33.
Very good. Westies had the A-grade bye, of course. Western United, they took on Kinniba in the other grades. So that was a wrap of round 6. We head to round 7, almost halfway through the home and away season. Can you believe that? And we've got a bit to have a look at here, except your girls, not so much. Your A-graders will have the bye.
They do. We've got a bye. We're playing Kniba at Pidnippy. So it means that we will be able to get around and watch the B and C grade, at the netball, and then we're having a bit of a lazy day by the football. So if anyone's around and wants to join us, come out to Pidnippy, have a few drinks, and watch some quality sport in all other grades for the day.
Happy days. And your juniors will have some ding-dong battles with Kniba as well. They've got some pretty handy junior teams.
They will. Kniba's really solid in their juniors. I think we mentioned last year their junior C is outstanding, and they're no different this year. Their junior B, they're rebuilding a little bit with in Kniba R. Last time we played them, Hawks came away with a win, but I think even Kniba themselves were surprised at how well they played and what they put on the court. So I think they'll only build throughout the year, and their junior A, again, is another solid side. So agreed, it will be a great game all round out at Pidnippy.
All right. Let's check the A-grade matches for this week. Wirrala taking on the Ceduna Blues. Look, Wirrala have got to get to winning again. They're 2-3 so far. The Blues are 1-4, but I just got a feeling the Blues are coming fast and maybe out for that third spot of Wirrala's. They're just off the bit at the moment, the Bombers.
They are, and I think they've sort of taken, knowing that we've only got the 5 teams, really only have to stay within the 4. I think they may be taking the opportunity in this first half of the year to try and make a few changes and see what they can do to get some combinations right, because as we've spoken about every week, they do quite a few changes. So I think it would really depend on how they start, because once you get behind at the start of a match, it's really hard to catch up. Hayley Collins, as I said, playing brilliant in defence, and whether she plays with Georgia in defence again or whether Taylor goes back to defence, but they could line up from anyone from Cindy, Jazz, and Sophie Kellett, and even Alicia Perry. So depending on how they line up, I think there'll be some fantastic matchups. Holly Woods, I think, is back in goals for Blues this week. That'll make a big difference for them. Her and Sarah Evans, I think, will actually be a great matchup. Sarah's a quality goal defence, and she mainly just sits at that goal defence position. She loves to float. She loves to pick off those rare balls, and you don't really see her coming. So I think this will be a great game. I think on paper, and I've been saying this all year, and I actually had a good conversation with a few of Blues girls. On paper, you would pick Blues to win. And look, I am still waiting for Emma to make her comeback after having her third child. So I don't know that it's this week, but when it does, that'll certainly make a difference in their team. It
certainly will, and I'll be honest, I've got absolutely no idea who to pick here. Who's going to win? Come on.
Look, I'm going to tip Blues, but only just. If Wirrala line up, with their strongest lineup at the start, that could make a difference. But I think with Holly back, that will give them a little bit more stability with a running goal attack. I'm going to tip Blues to win.
Look, it's at Wirrala.
You're simply the best.
That's the only thing I've got to go on in that game. Let's talk about the other one. Thevenard will take on Western United, and this one should be a bit easier to pick. Thevi haven't lost yet, and Westies haven't won yet. So top versus bottom, you'd think top gets the chocolates here.
Yeah, absolutely. Last time they played, I think Thevi came away with a 22-goal win, and Westies only last week was the first time they played with a full team. I definitely think they're building and they've got some quality players, but you would think with Sevi being the top team, brilliant players in their side, they would come away with a win. Durrani Hofrichter has been outstanding at goal attack and a little bit of goal shooter, so match up of this whole round will be Durrani Hofrichter at goal attack and Nikki Sleep at goal defence for Sevi. Durrani really tall, Nikki extremely agile, can jump like you wouldn't believe, is a quiet player. You don't necessarily notice her. She does a lot of hard work. So, look, I think Sevi would come away with a win here, but Westies are definitely building and getting better. And look, anything's within their reach, as we are not quite halfway. They might be on 0, but the team above them, Blues, is only on 2 points. So anything can happen.
That's exactly right. So there it is, round 7 of matches in Western Eyre netball. Anything else before we wrap it up?
No, just wishing everyone good luck. I know there's been a lot of kids away at Sapsiza football, so they'll be keen to get back, and it's country champs next weekend. So best of luck to everyone. Stay safe, and looking forward to having a chat about country champs.
We will do that next week. Until then, enjoy the weekend.
Thank you, and thanks very much for having me.